English as we have simultaneous interpretation. Wir haben nicht viel Zeit, weil der Präsident
besten Dank, Herr Präsident, Exzellenzen, meine Damen und Herren. In wenigen Wochen tritt der russische Angriffskrieg gegen die Ukraine in sein drittes Jahr. Die Menschen müssen einen weiteren Kriegswinter erdulden und noch immer sehen wir jeden Tag neue Bilder des Leidens, die dieser Krieg verursacht. Ihr Besuch, Herr Präsident, ist eine Ehre für uns und eine Gelegenheit, die Solidarität der Schweiz mit der Ukraine und dem ukrainischen Volk zu bekräftigen. Wir haben diese Solidarität auf lange Sicht zugesagt und die Ukraine kann sich der Verlässlichkeit unserer Zusagen zählen. Präsident Zelensky und ich haben heute darüber gesprochen, dass die Schweiz den Friedensprozess unterstützt. Präsident Zelensky hat mich gefragt, ob die Schweiz bereit wäre, in diesem Rahmen auch einen hochrangigen Friedensgipfel zu organisieren. Ich habe ihm bestätigt, dass die Schweiz bereit ist, eine Konferenz zu organisieren. Wir haben uns darauf geeinigt, dass wir die Details des weiteren Vorgehens vertieft prüfen, damit der Friedensprozess ein Erfolg wird. Die jeweiligen Teams werden diese Arbeiten jetzt an die Hand nehmen. Auf unserer Seite wird das EDA, den Lead, die Federführung für diese Arbeiten übernehmen. Die Schweiz wird sich auch in Zukunft für einen umfassenden, gerechten und dauerhaften Frieden in der Ukraine einsetzen. Die Schweiz freut sich, einen Beitrag dazu zu leisten. Die Schweiz legt zudem einen besonderen Fokus auf den Wiederaufbau. Dieser ist aus Sicht des Bundesrates von strategischer Bedeutung für die Stabilität des Kontinents. Als politischer Kompass für den Wiederaufbau dienen die Lugano-Prinzipien
Reconstruction and Recovery. We have the Lugano Principles defined at the Ukraine Recovery Conference in July 2022. For the next period of our strategy for international cooperation from 2025 to 2028, Switzerland has earmarked 1.5 billion Swiss francs to support Ukraine. We have discussed the necessity today to coordinate aid by the international community in the best possible way. Demining is key to the reconstruction and recovery of Ukraine. In September, the Federal Council made humanitarian demining action a priority and adopted a 4-year, 100 million Swiss franc aid package. In October this year, a high-level conference will be held on this matter in Geneva. Humanitarian mine clearance is a prerequisite for displaced people to be able to safely return to their homes and for agricultural land to be cultivated. In a big export-based economy like Ukraine, fewer foodstuff is harvested. This has an impact on the whole wide world. And against this backdrop, we also discussed the UN's efforts to facilitate unhindered exports of food and fertilizers from Ukraine and Russia via the Black Sea. Russia's decision to discontinue the Black Sea initiative is a threat to global food security. Switzerland attaches major importance to this topic and has offered its good services to the UN Secretary General. The Russian war of aggression causes enormous suffering in Ukraine and far beyond, including in Russia itself. Currently, there is an accountability gap that needs to be closed. This is of importance for the ongoing conflict, but also for the future security worldwide. Switzerland contributes to the war damage register launched by the Council of Europe and is part of the core group of states intending to appoint a special tribunal for the crimes committed by the Russian aggression. Another topic of our talks today has been the meeting of the National Security Advisors on the Ukrainian peace formula, which was held yesterday in Davos with over 80 states attending.
Für die ausgezeichnete
I have
Zusammenarbeit bei der
thanked
Organisation
President
dieses
Zelensky for the
Treffens
excellent
bedankt.
cooperation in organizing this meeting.
Damen und
Mr.
Herren, heute
President,
fand das
ladies
dritte
and
bilaterale Treffen
gentlemen,
auf
today
Präsidialstufe
we
in
have
3
held the
Jahren
third
statt.
bilateral
Dies
presidential
zeugt
meeting in 3
von einer
years,
erfreulichen
testifying
Intensivierung
to
und weiteren
an
Vertiefung
agreeable
unserer
intensification
bilateralen
and further
Beziehungen.
deepening of our
Wir konnten
bilateral
damit auf den
relations.
seit Jahren
We have
bestehenden
thus been
engen
able
Austausch
to
zwischen
build
unseren
on the
Ländern aufbauen.
years-long close exchange between our
Die
countries.
Verbundenheit unserer Länder
The
ist
bond
dauerhaft.
between our
Ich danke Ihnen,
countries is
Exzellenz, für
permanent.
Ihren
I'd
Besuch
like
in
to
der
thank
Schweiz.
you,
Ich freue
Excellency,
mich
for your
auf die
visit to
weitere
Switzerland, and I'm
Kooperation
looking
und die
forward to the
fortlaufende
further cooperation
Stärkung
and the
der Beziehungen
continued
unserer Länder.
reinforcement of the
Besten Dank.
relations between our two countries. Thank you very much. Mr.
Дуже дякую, шановна пані президент.
Thank you, esteemed Madam President, dear present here, ladies and gentlemen, journalists, the people of Switzerland. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you for Switzerland is not indifferent, and to be neutral for you does not mean to ignore reality, and you are morally righteous. You honestly evaluate what is going on now in Europe, and you help us defend life. And I'm grateful to you for principal political support of Ukraine from the very first day of a full-scale invasion of Russia. I thank you for joining European sanction packages and, of course, for our joint work on realization of the peace formula. The stance of Switzerland always has global meaning. The world pays attention at you. The world takes your position into account, and I'm thankful that your stance is a position that facilitates justice and restoration of a just peace. And it is very important that Switzerland is helping not only in humanitarian domain, and we have discussed today it with Madam President. It also helps financially in restoration, in long-term political support and sanction policy. And today we have discussed the new program of long-term support.
Присутні, шановні пані та панове, сьогодні на зустрічах ми відзначили успішність роботи вчора в форматі радників щодо формули миру. Швейцарія ефективно організувала зустріч напередодні, було значне розширення представництва, вже більше 80 держав, як сказала пані президент, і держав та міжнародних інституцій задіяні. Ми цінуємо це. Я вдячний пані президенту і її команді за домовленість, що наші команди вже від завтра розпочинають підготовку до проведення у Швейцарії на рівні лідерів глобального саміту миру. І цей саміт має наповнити необхідною енергією усе, що вже вдалося досягнути, та має визначити, що завершення війни має бути виключно справедливим, а відновлення сили міжнародного права дійсно повним. Швейцарія у цьому наш партнер. Дякую. Нагальне питання доля російських активів, які були заморожені у різних юрисдикціях світу. Світова більшість погоджується, що російська агресія є неспровокованою та злочинною війною, яка не лише порушує цілі та принципи статуту та буквально кожну принципову норму міжнародного права, але й повертає у наш час те зло, яке Європа бачила востаннє у час Другої світової війни. Використати активи Росії та пов'язаних з нею осіб для захисту від російської агресії – це не лише ефективно як покарання агресора, але й цілком справедливо. Той, хто розв'язав цю війну, повинен сплатити найбільшу ціну за неї. Сьогодні на зустрічах ми приділили значну увагу саме цьому питанню справедливості, так само, як і питанню долучення Швейцарії до створення трибуналу щодо злочину агресії Росії проти України. Зараз світ на
regarding the aggression of Russia against Ukraine. Today the world is at the important crossroads, important from the point of view of morale. We together need to ensure full accountability of Russian war criminals and also political and military leadership of Russia. The war is started by concrete people. It is concrete people who kill and continue to work for ensuring the continuation of aggression. They all need to be held accountable. notable. I want to particularly thank Switzerland for the work in demining. And I thank you, Madam President, for this is the leadership that underscores your humanitarian power. Currently, 174,000 square kilometers of our territory are contaminated with Russian mines and explosive ordnances that did not explode. And it would be very difficult for any state in the world to cope with this issue alone. Luckily, Ukraine has friends that help us, and Switzerland is one of such friends, and we have discussed the holding of 2 conferences regarding demining this year. And one more thing, it is critically important that we together continue work on sanctions tracks. Sanctions that have been applied to Russia need to be most efficient. Ukraine counts for the support of Switzerland in the global work
санкцій.
To block all the schemes of bypassing sanctions. Currently we see that Russian missiles that are terrorizing our cities and other weapons that they are using, the work of their DIB, all that is based on the shadow ties with the leading countries of the world. In each Russian missile there are tens of components that were created by the companies from other countries, in particular from Europe. Without such electronic component-based Russian terror would be way smaller. It would become way harder for Russia to produce missiles. Control for such special export has utmost importance, and I invite Switzerland to maximally active work with all partners and with the international sanctions group to pressure Russia in order to block its terrorist potential. Together, we are saving lives of people. I'd like to once again thank you, Madam President, to thank all your society.
Слава Україні!
Glory to Ukraine.
Merci. Danke, Herr Präsident. Wir nehmen jetzt schnell 2, 3 Fragen.
Thank you, Mr. President. We will accept 2 to 3 questions. Mr. Burkhardt first. What are your expectations, Mr. President? So 6 billion Swiss francs, is that sufficient? What are your financial expectations? So 6 billion Swiss francs, is that sufficient? What are your financial expectations?
It's for me.
It's for you, yes, sir. The expectations, finance expectations you have.
I understood. Дуже дякую за запитання. Ну, сьогодні ми говорили про
Thank you so much for the question. Today we have discussed the long, many years support. First and foremost, we are talking about the destroyed houses of our people, our hospitals, our schools destroyed by Russian missiles. You are well aware that many representatives of the government of Switzerland have multiple times visited us, and they saw that thousands of Ukrainian schools, of Ukrainian children, they are under constant risks of missile strikes, the usage of ballistics, the usage of Iranian drones, and therefore the issue of shelters, the issue of security of children is very relevant. And I believe that the second issue with which it is easier for us this winter than previous winter is Russia's attacks on critical infrastructure, on our energy grid. We have indeed survived a couple of blackouts, and it was very difficult. But this winter we are more resilient, and we need to strengthen it. The energy grid has to be decentralized. It has to be secure, just as water supply, etc. So we can talk a lot about this, but the priorities are clear on what to spend this assistance.
Thank you. The second question, can I give you the second question? John Rever.
Vielen Dank, John Revel, Reuters. Mr. President, could you tell us a bit more detail about your plans for this peace conference that you've mentioned? When would you like it to take place, and what countries would you like to take part? Are you going to ask China to take part? Should Russia take part? And ultimately, what is the goal here? I mean, sure, peace, but on what terms? Thank you.
Дякую за запитання.
Thank you for the question.
Що стосується, по-перше,
As
списку
regards
країн, ми
the
відкриті
list
до
of
всіх,
countries, we are open
до всіх країн
to
світу,
all countries of the
які
world
поважають наш
that
суверенітет
respect
і
our
територіальну
sovereignty and
цілісність. Тому
territorial
робіть висновки,
integrity.
кого ми
Therefore, you can
запрошуємо.
draw conclusions on whom we
Ми
invite.
б хотіли, щоб
We would
країни
want
Global South
the
обов'язково були
countries of Global
присутні
South
зараз на
to be
зустрічах
present for
радників,
sure,
на
and
цих зустрічах.
and on the meetings of advisors, the last one that we had in Davos, there were 83 countries over there. I'd like to underscore once again there was very serious work, and I'd like to congratulate our teams on such amount of countries, and it is very important so that all these representatives, their leaders, be on the summit. It is very important for us to demonstrate that the whole world is against aggression of Russia, and the whole world is all for the just peace. These points are based on, I believe that you are well aware of these points, they are based on the UN Charter, and I think that there are no surprises there. If the countries truly want the war to end, they will support our plan. But once again, I'd like to say that this plan is open, and therefore we involve many different countries, and we involve them with their proposals. And therefore, as we have today stated with Madam President, we will work comprehensively, and now our work will start.
Ja, besten Dank, wenn ich vielleicht ergänzen darf.
Thank you very much. If I may add something, we have agreed that from tomorrow our teams would start working on the details, examining the details. We'd like to have a widely supported summit with as many countries as possible participating in order to be successful. We need to prepare that very well, and once the time has come, when we see that we can hold a successful summit, we will jointly organize that, but work will start tomorrow. Thank you very much, Madam President. And last question already, Mr. Hessler. So you will both be traveling to the BEF in Davos, Mr. President, where the Chinese Prime Minister will also be present. What role can China play for your peace formula? Does the way to peace lead via Beijing?
With all the respect to China and to Prime Minister of China, I am attending not him personally. I am traveling to Davos by invitation, and there I will have many various meetings with many leaders of the world, and I have personal invitation from Switzerland, and therefore I'm here. As regards the role of China, they play a significant role in the world, and therefore we would want China to be involved to our formula and also involved to the summit, of course. But you know that not everything depends on our desire. We will see, we will hope that all civilized countries will be involved to the peace summit.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Madam President. We end the press conference here. Thank you for attending, and have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Not too loud. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.